The third part of our three-part orientation will dig deeper into MyMathLab. So let's go into our Canvas page. In our Canvas page, our home page, we see that our second module is MyMathLab. Here are the links to get into Pearson's MyMathLab, and if you click on any of these for the first time, you will go into an agreement page where you would just check that you agreed that you will be paying for this course through our inclusive access in our bookstore, and you will be billed through WebSmart. By clicking on one of these, it's going to ask you to agree or accept the license. Click on I accept, and then you're going to go through a browser check. So it would be ideal that you use the same laptop for the whole semester for this course, so that you can only so that you would only need to do this browser check one time, because once it's installed in your computer, then you're all done. If you switch computers and you don't have some of these add-ons, then you might need to reinstall everything. After this, the next time you log into your account, you will not need to go through that same agreement. You'll just be able to go straight directly into the probability and statistics course in MyMathLab. So there's several ways or several places to jump to. You can jump straight into the homework, go into the gradebook, or go into the e-text, or any of these other links. So if you jump to your homework, it'll ask you to open up a new window, and then you will have this page that gives you links to your homework assignments. So you will get to this homework page in MyMathLab. You can see now that the tab here says homework and test, but the symbol here is a little bit different from the Canvas symbol. This is a Pearson symbol that says that you're on a different page. And then here you have the list of assignments with the due dates on the left. So you can click on these links to get to any of these homework assignments, and the first page you see would be a list of these homework assignments. You can go to the first question or any question you want. You can navigate left and right. You can do a pull down menu to see the whole set of homework problems in that particular assignment, and it tells you which ones you got correct and which ones you did not. In this particular problem, it's asking us to take a look at the histogram. And so if this is something that you've never seen before, then you might want to go back to the textbook and read up on it. If it's some calculations that are required, you might want to go back to Canvas and take a look at some video hints for the homework problem. So let's see if we can answer this. A histogram to the right represents weights in pounds, member of a certain high school programming team. How many team members are included in this histogram? So let's say I think maybe there's 5 of them. So you can type in the number 5 and then check your answer, and that's not correct. And it gives you immediate feedback, and it gives you a little hint if it's not correct. Sometimes the hints are helpful, sometimes they're not so helpful. So if you want to go back and find information about this problem, you can check out a video that might describe this problem, some animation. You can even open the textbook from here. If you need to do some calculations with StatCrunch, you can open that here as well. There's this button here that says Ask My Instructor, but I want to ask you to use this sparingly. When you click on this, I'm going to get an email telling me what problem that you're working on, and if you want to click on this, you have to make sure that you've attempted this problem by exhausting some of these video help. There's help me solve this and view an example, and if you still don't get it, you can send me you can click on this Ask My Instructor, but you have to tell me what you've done, what you've read, what you don't, so that I can give you hints. Alright, so how would we do this? We typed in a number and we got some information that says we have to add up all the bars here. So there's 4 people that weigh about 115 pounds. There's looks like 3 people, and then 2 people, and 1 person. So that's 4, 7, 9, and 10. And then there's another 4, that's 14, and 3 and 3, so that's 6. So it looks like there should be 20 people here. So right now, we can make our correction and type in the answer and ask to check the answer, and then it looks like we got it correct. So we can move on to the next question. And if you do this pull down menu, you'll see that you got this check mark, which means you got it correct. Alright, the next one, find the class width. The class width, we have to take a look at the histogram again, and the class width is these numbers subtracted, so it looks like it's going to be maybe 10. So let's type in 10, check our answer. Okay, we got that right. So some of these will have 2 parts. And it says approximate lower class limit. Approximate lower class limit. Let's try 105. Approximate upper class limit. Let's try 175. And let's check it. It looks like that wasn't correct. Here you have another opportunity to change your answer. So let's say 102 and maybe 178. Check our answer again. It looks like that's still not correct. And here it says final check. So if we try to change our answer one more time and we do the final check and still don't get it correct, it'll give us a mark, an X mark. So it says 105 and 115. So we can go to the next question, or we can go back and redo a similar question. So you can see that we got part of question number 2 correct, but another part of it not correct. So it shows us our answer here. Whenever you see this red thing on the top, it says that's the correct answer, and if you mouse over it, or if you click on it, it tells you what you answered and the correct answer was. Okay, so let's do a similar question. Remember, we're looking at this and we're partly correct. So if we do a similar question, we can actually get it fully correct. So let's try to answer the question again. What's our class width? Sometimes they change numbers and sometimes they don't, so you want to be careful when you're redoing a problem. In this particular case, our class width is still the same. And now approximate lower class limit. What are the approximate lower and upper class limits for the first class? So the first class is just this number over here. So let's take a look at that. 105. We can do 105. We can actually go a little bit less, 104, maybe 104.5. But we can just type 105. And then the upper class limit for the first class looks like it might be 115. So let's check our answer. And it looks like this time we got it correct. We can go to the next question. But I want to pull down this menu again and show you that our question number 2, which was partly correct last time, is now fully correct. And so you can do that for any of these problems. Any of these problems that you get completely wrong, you can redo it to get a check mark to get it completely right. So as long as you do this before the deadline, you should be able to get 100% in all the homework assignments. Okay. So that is our homework. By the way, if you accidentally close this and you go back to your home page, or the whole thing, your computer shuts down, you can always go back to that homework problem that you're working on, and it has a C score over here. It says I've done 50% of that so far. You can go back and then you can see the check marks are still there of what you've done. So that's the homework link. Let's take a look at the other links that are involved here. We have a study plan. We have the grade book. The grade book is not really going to be that useful for us since most of your grades will be listed in Canvas. I did leave this link here so that you can go back and review the homework assignments that you've completed. So that's why it's there, but it's not going to be reflective of your actual grade. There's a StatCrunch program that you can take a look at to help you do some of the calculations when you're doing your homework. And the textbook. There's two versions of the textbook. There's a HTML ebook and there's a Pearson e-textbook. The Pearson e-textbook gives you the textbook layout along with some interesting buttons to click on. So you can navigate through by going directly to the page number. You can go take a look at the contents on the left here, go to a particular section, etc. And when you do this, what you'll see is the actual book with the actual page number and the actual section. But more than that, you'll see some extra links over here. In this case, there's a video that's involved, so you can click on that and view a video. There's an animation that talks about some of the things that you have. So you can go through this animation and walk through some of these problems. And there's many other types of links that you can click on that include having you try some problems similar to the homework assignments. So feel free to navigate through and find these links, these interesting buttons, while you're looking through the e-textbook. So there's a Tools for Success link over here that opens up some interesting tools. There's some Stat Talk videos. There's some applets. The internet projects are not really that useful because we're not doing it in our class. There's some animated flowcharts. Now, depending on which technology you're going to use, and like I said, you can use whatever you want, there's support for them in this particular page. So if you're going to use StatCrunch, there's some ways to access the data in StatCrunch. You can visit StatCrunch and you can see some tutorials on how to use StatCrunch. StatDisk is another tool that you can use. You can go to StatDisk and download a program, and this particular program would allow you to do some calculations really quickly. If you want to use Excel, you can take a look at the Student Lab Manual and Workbook for Excel. Or if you can do StatCrunch or StatDisk, they're also available. If you have your graphing calculator and you decide that you want to use that for the semester, then you can click on some manuals over here as well. There's also video tutorials for Excel and the graphing calculator, and there's some technology cards over here that you can download as well. So there's a lot of tools that can help you succeed in this class. Another button I want to point out is the multimedia library. If you click on the multimedia library, this allows you to search the particular media that you're interested in. And you can search by chapter and section. And if you're interested in going to the textbook, which you should be able to find a different way, or you can take a look at some videos, some applets. If you want to download the PowerPoint presentation through here, you can also download it through Canvas because it's all available there. You can use another active stats or animations or similar, and you can ask this to find information about Chapter 4, Section 2 on the basic concepts of probability, and then you'll see the media that might be useful for you. So you can click on any of these, and as long as you have the appropriate plugins, you should be able to view and open them. Okay? So that's the basic layout for your MyMathLab. I encourage you to explore some of these other buttons that I did not go over in detail, just so you can get used to this. In terms of doing homework, some people go directly to the homework problem, and when they get stuck, they open up the book. Some people go through the lectures first, the PowerPoint lectures first, and get some information there, and then they do the homework. And then if they get stuck, they go to homework help, and then you can find some of these problems that are similar to your homework problems being done by hand. You can also check the multimedia library for any other videos that might help you as well. So this is our MyMathLab, and this MathLab is something for you to really explore and get the most out of. This has a lot of tools that could be useful for you, and it might be overwhelming at first, but I encourage you to find the right tool for you, because there's different media. People learn a lot of different ways, so depending on how you learn, you should tailor your findings, your media use, depending on how you learn. Okay, so this concludes our basic orientation, and good luck, and I'll see you online.